So this is Porchtalk, episode .01.
Oh, this is the beta version of Porchtalk.
Beta version of Porchtalk.
Brought to you from Nebraska,
1866.
where we have attempted to aver and somewhat aver and establish our citizenship as brought to you via Article 4 of the Constitution of the United States of America, i.e. the several
states. There's a little clink in the glass there.
Clink, clink.
Little ding for the no agenda nod to Agenda 31 there too, for 1866. I have no idea what we're going to talk about today. No, you said something when you just a minute ago. You said something about
So we're going to follow the no agenda method, where we don't talk to each other, which is a complete bullshit lie for us, at least, because we talk to each other all the time. But I did have a topic I wanted to bring up since we haven't discussed it.
And he wouldn't let me talk about it beforehand.
Yes. So the topic tonight is, before coming over here, my wife and I had a brief conversation about Target and what that means as far as letting people of whatever gender they identify as using whatever restroom they went to. My wife got mad that I went off on a tangent, apparently, because I have the no agenda mindset.
Wait, let's rewind just for a second. So she, what's her position? Does she have
her position? Is oddly enough, she's fairly conservative on it, and she brings up the fact that she doesn't want in 10 years or whatever our daughter to be able to go into a bathroom and have a male follow her into the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's strange, because she told me that if you identify as a female, it's fine.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm confused by it, because her thought process is, if you're a man but you identify as a female, that's okay. But I'm like, okay, so what if I look like a man and I haven't had any sort of operation or hormone therapy or anything yet?
Because I know trans
identify.
women. Excuse me, that's
trans men.
I know a trans woman who was born a male, and has come out as a woman. And if you look at him, he's actually a really wonderful human being. But if you look at him, the thought woman does not come to mind.
But born a male.
Born with male genitalia.
Has
transitioned
to a female.
Psychologically, he's come out, but he's a bald, short, kind of round dude.
I'm gonna call you a douchebag right now, and you have your pronouns incorrect.
He's trans woman. He. I said, fuck, you're right. Damn it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's confusing. Even for people
even me,
open-minded.
And I'm like fucking totally liberal about this shit, and I still screw up.
You're more of an ally than I am, so you still fuck up on the pronouns.
So she came out as identifying as a woman. Would that make Kim uncomfortable? Because if she went into
because she identifies as a woman.
But Kim doesn't know that.
Yeah, exactly. This is
that's what you were arguing. Okay.
Well,
okay.
And then I decided to be more of a douche and say, well, why are we focusing on binary issues here then? And if gender is not binary, then how do you know male or female? What if I'm gender queer? What if I am
intersex
or gender fluid? We're like,
right. Today I'm a male. Right at the moment I identify as more female.
Yeah,
a lot of.
Don't get me wrong. I don't understand. I am cisgendered. I'm cisgendered and heteronormative.
The normative patriarchy.
So I don't understand this mindset.
Okay. Right.
And I really have no strong position on this at the moment. I haven't taken the time to really sit here and dive into it, other than our previous conversations and friends of ours and No Agenda and
NPR
and
right.
other mainstream media. But
right.
My issue with this was that, so we have Facebook has 53 different sexes or genders that you can be.
Oh, they do now?
At least that was the meme that had been going on for a while. I don't know. It
may
or may not
actually,
be true.
you know, I actually refused when I got a Facebook account.
Refused to identify.
I refused to identify my sex. And you know why? Because I got fucking ads all the time that were bullshit geared towards heteronormative macho men, and I was fucking annoyed with them. And so I changed, Facebook for a long time kept asking me, what's your sex?
Yeah,
what's your sex? What's your sex? And I was like, fuck you.
Please complete your profile.
Yes, please. Yeah. So they have, what he said, like 50 things or something.
And that was the
I think,
may not,
I think
but that was the rumor at least at one time. And
I think when we try to codify things, when we try to make categorize things, when we try to make categories, you end up causing problems, because for every single human being, you can have a category.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm saying? So you and I are both cisgendered, heteronormative. I want
to take this back, because when I was in high school, the LGBTQIA.
I was glad, I think, back in our day, wasn't it?
For me, it was just GSA. It was Gay Straight Alliance.
GSA.
And now there is no longer an S. There's no straight in there.
Well, it's ally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's ally. You're just ally. They don't even recognize the straight aspect anymore, which is...
Doesn't that imply straight?
Just because you're an ally?
If you're not gay, you're not... Okay, we were just talking about this. LBGTQIAPA. Two A's.
Two A's, one P.
P. So one of the A's is asexual and one of the A's is allied. Yeah. So all of those things, technically, I mean, I know there are others. There's like twin spirit.
Just because you're an ally doesn't mean that you are straight, and just because you're straight doesn't mean you're an ally.
Well, no, I know that.
Look at the LGBTQ like subdivisions that we have.
No, that's actually what I'm saying. If everything else is covered,
yeah, but it's not necessarily covered
in the acronym.
Here's the thing:
then isn't allied?
You have gay people, gay men, kind of hate women, and have not all. Oh, there is a perception among some gay individuals, where just because you're gay,
LGBTQ,
it means that you have this,
etc.
It just
that stands for an alliance or that community. And those allied with that community.
And this might be because this is probably just purely subgenres inside this culture, where
you bring up an interesting point,
some gay men probably don't.
No,
I hate women.
No, I was actually going to say...
some lesbians probably don't hate men.
Right.
But there is a genre in there, and even now, me being called cisgendered heteronormative, that's stigmatic.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So why can't I be inclusive other than just being an ally? Because I don't think you have to be...
I don't.
And maybe I'm just being nitpicky. Maybe it's me being cisgendered and heteronormative.
Yes, you are. And here's the reason why. Because cisgendered, heteronormative, specifically males, have had the run of humanity for as much time as we can think.
So I wanted to come up with something really clever, and I can't figure out what it would be. We're going to be humanity, it's going to be like
humanity?
Hurity, but that doesn't work.
Anthropos?
Yeah, I wanted, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Epic fail.
Epic fail. No dinging on that. No. You do not get a ding. So, where were we at? You totally derailed me.
Sorry, we were discussing about
I was saying
being the anthropomorphic, like, ruling class throughout all of...
not anthropomorphic. I know. That was a really awesome word incorrectly used.
No, not entirely.
I don't even know what it means, actually. Hold on. Consult the book of knowledge. Where the fuck is this thing? Hold on. I'm going to look it up. Nah, I got the computer.
The computer. Yes, this is how we are.
Yeah. No, my...
Anthropomorphic.
Is it a word?
I'm not sure I understand.
See, you're so fucking... male hetero, you can't even handle a female theory. Listen to that shit.
I had one, and I was trying to be really confusing.
And did she annoy you?
Yeah.
Did her screechy voice annoy you?
It did,
It's like Hillary's.
I try to actually make it British.
Oh, yeah,
And the British woman's even more annoying. No offense to your Welsh woman.
Yeah, fuck you.
It's all right.
My wife is actually in England right now.
I know that. And
Yeah,
the
but the people
funny
that-
Doctor Who joke it would be that
4 people that listen to
Wales,
Welsh.
the New Jersey of England.
England.
Thank you, Torchwood.
Whoa. Not many geeks got that reference.
Anthropology. So anthropology just in general would be...
Study of humans.
it's a study of humans, yeah.
Okay, well, fine.
And societies in the past and the present. So yes, if I'm using anthropomorphic or whatever the actual breakdown of the word to make it
Right,
be,
so
that
did
would
you
be correct?
just didn't use the right word, that's all.
Yeah. Ideas there.
More
This will be edited out.
No, it won't. There's anthropomorphic.
Yeah,
Anyways.
Is that what I said?
No, that's not a word.
I don't
That's
even know.
Yeah, that is a word. but-
What's that mean?
Yeah, now we're actually gonna relating to or characterized by anthropomorphism, having human characteristics.
Okay, so I
No, it's like
kind of trying.
no, not at all.
Anthro. I
You
use
got
human.
anthropo. You got anthropos.
Either
So,
way.
anyways,
Again, epic fail.
the argument
Sam,
is
1,
that
Jared 0. By the way, we never introduced ourselves, did we?
Holy
I am
crap.
Jared Hall, and that is my douchebag friend, who's sort of my godfather, Samuel Daint. Otherwise known as Sammy Daint, or sometimes known as Samuel Daunt.
It just depends on how you pronounce it. I often go by an internet moniker, Little, run a blog with that name in it, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna add the blog here. So if for all of human history, heterosexual males have run the show.
Yeah.
They've been the standard by which everything is measured. Then it's not a stigma.
For at least societies that have thrived. We have had.
Yes,
We
fair
have
enough.
other societies.
We have
that
had matriarchal
been-
societies
yes.
or
They just
um,
kind of are no longer
egalitarian societies. Actually, oh boy, I was going to go into a rabbit hole. Hold on real quick. Let me finish my thought. Patriarchal societies are ultimately the ones that will conquer in the end.
there. Yes.
That's the...
Which is why the funny
was
joke
it.
about, if all men could die and we had women, human society would still go on. Well, no. Outside
I don't
the
know
fact
about
that
that.
you
I-
need to have men to
No.
procreate.
No,
but-
this is a different... It's an argument in the opposite direction.
Oh,
but
okay. Never mind.
Anyways, it was interesting. But
history is his, and we win.
pretty much.
So yeah.
So
I'm
Okay,
nitpicking
go ahead.
as a hetero cis normative individual complaining about the straight thing. I like the straight thing because I identify as straight, and
okay, yeah.
and because if we have to be inclusive, if our push is towards
Well, I don't think we
inclusion,
have to be,
why not?
but I would like to
We're
be.
kind of, society, American society, European society is kind of pushing us towards inclusion.
Oh, right.
And if
right.
you're not inclusive, then you're bigoted and you're the bad guy,
Right, yeah.
or bad woman, or whatever.
Well, I think that's how society works. Though,
please
don't
include
we
me as being straight.
stigmatize?
This is
But
the
you're
same argument.
automatically included because you're straight. You get automatic inclusion.
We've had
Because-
this discussion
make
before, Sam, where I won't identify as a feminist
Right.
because I want to view our society as beyond first, second, third, fourth, whatever wave we are in feminism
see
now.
what you mean, yeah.
I think we're beyond that point.
I
and
don't.
And I think some of our hang-ups are still because we want to have these debates and we have different waves of feminism
Right.
battling one another
Well,
when come together.
Yeah.
And maybe we won't have this problem. Now, I'm not trying to blame feminism. I'm
I
just
understand.
strictly saying that, and maybe this is me being really hopeful and pragmatic and optimistic in my outlook in society, even though I fucking hate people. I truly believe that man is good.
Woman bad. Is that what
Yes, it's
Sorry.
really bad. Man is man. Man is this humankind.
Yes, I know what you.
Just, I believe we are inherently good. I believe we are also inherently bad.
Are you? Can I pause for a second?
Yes, go
are
ahead.
you kind of the? Do you hold to Solzhenitsyn's view that the line between good and evil runs down the heart of every human being?
Oh, please cite your source for us.
I don't know where he wrote it.
Alexander
Solzhenitsyn was a prisoner in the gulags of Russia under communism. Probably the most famous Eastern Orthodox Christian in the world. Just recently reposed. What?
It was probably only a few years ago.
4 or 5 years
he had
ago?
been in, was he living in Maine or something in Vermont, something like that?
No, I don't remember.
He had been exiled.
Yeah, he wrote a book called The Gulag Archipelago. He wrote other
And
books
One
too.
Day in the Life of Ivanovich or something like that.
Denisova, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Either.
Both
So
great books.
he-
Highly recommend them.
Yes, he is quoted. One of his most famous quotes is, and I may be paraphrasing it, but that the line between good and evil runs through the heart of every human being.
Yeah, I would definitely say.
See, I think he's wrong.
You would?
Yes.
See, I would say that I think he's correct, and I would say that based upon my understanding of everybody being made in the image of God, and therefore we are all the icon of Christ, and therefore we are all inherently capable of being great. In fact, we are meant to be great. We are great, and it's only through ourselves that we end up being shit and evil and mean towards one another.
And then connecting with other people and being evil and shitty with them in collusion. Yeah, let me
We've
clarify.
had this conversation before about whatever you would like to brand me as far as my aversion to labeling myself as a feminist.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I can't remember
either.
Yeah, what we.
Because I, for the record, I identify as a feminist. I think it's helpful to support all the elements, or most of the elements, of the feminist cause.
Which way?
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't.
Modern day feminism.
Modern day feminism is what I identify with the most.
So I just
it
think
really,
everybody should be
honestly,
treated equally.
Treated equally.
Regardless
I agree.
of your sex, regardless of your gender, regardless of your race, regardless of your religion. I mean,
but I want to
the American
actually
Foundation,
change
all
the
men are created
circumstances.
equal.
I want to actually change the circumstances, the culture in which we live, so that women are actually treated equally. Because right now, they cannot function equally. My wife can't go for a fucking walk in my neighborhood at night because she's scared out of her wits. To me, that's what feminism is.
Well, it doesn't help when we live in the shittiest parts of town.
I like my ghetto.
And I do too. But
Caroline likes it too, for the record.
yeah.
I'm not just keeping her here.
That's part of the socioeconomic status that we have. And we choose this socioeconomic status.
Yeah. Well, kind of.
No, we choose this. You're currently
participating
only as a stay-at-home father.
And you're right. But
my
even
wife stays at home with our 3 kids, and I work a job that I would much rather focus on actually enjoying my job, than having $20 an hour to support my 3 kids. And we could buy perfectly fine, but with that comes a cost, and that cost is living.
It was a cost-benefit analysis, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
basically, we did that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if we did it intentionally, but Caroline and I would rather be poor.
My rent did go up $300 recently.
Yeah.
But that's a whole
But you have a
other
big
matter.
yard and 2 beds.
Yeah.
And
it's a whole different matter why that happened. That's
right. That's
beyond
different.
the point. But it was a funny little caveat.
Gotcha. Now you're really poor.
Yeah. Now I am really poor. But
I want my daughter to not. I want my daughter and my wife to not have to deal with the things that Susan B. Anthony had to deal with. That.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't.
You know what? In my neighborhood, I've called the police numerous times.
Right.
On random strange instances going on in my neighborhood. And that's not just my neighborhood.
Yeah.
If you want to blame your neighborhood for it, then that's a different matter. Like, there was.
I think
there was
Caroline
Caroline
would be uncomfortable walking
anywhere
at night anywhere. She's uncomfortable walking in small town England.
Even if we had plenty of lights everywhere and stuff. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I believe so.
She would still... Not that I want CCTV.
No, I don't want CCTV. Yes, both of us are not endorsing CCTV. Big fucking brother conspiracy, all that aside, it's just...
Although they do make for some interesting footage when you have, like
funny shit.
Well, unsolved mysteries.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where you see,
you see this guy here,
and then he disappears, and then an angel comes, and then Bigfoot.
I wasn't going to go that far, but...
Actually, Jared got me hooked on these fucking, top 5 unsolved mystery photos.
YouTube can be a giant rabbit hole.
Now at 3 a.m., here I am listening to the creepy fucking music and
moon bases.
So it's really moon bases on the other side of the moon. Yeah, good shit, man.
No, yeah.
Wait, no, that was Adam Curry said that, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
And then he denied it, and then Dvorak didn't.
People already
Dvorak went back and literally found it.
Yeah, but you watch the videos and it's alien moon bases.
Oh, alien
dark side of the moon.
Yeah. Okay.
But you know my theory on this is
what's your theory on this? The Earth is flat, right?
The Earth is flat. We've never been to space. There's. Yeah.
That seems much more plausible to me.
Not
the Earth is flat thing. Because I've actually fucking flown around the world. You cannot. It's not flat.
There's a NASA base in Greenland. We have to at least agree on that. There is a NASA base in Greenland.
Was not aware
Anonymous of that. Told me so.
Anonymous told you so. I'm more interested in the NSA. Have you listened to the Congressional Dish?
All right.
Wow.
Yes, thank you, Jennifer Briney, for your Congressional Dish. Also, a great podcast.
I would say homage to the 3.
Yeah, to the 3 No Agenda streamed
3
podcast. But back to our discussion on heteronormative issues and my penis can or cannot go into that bathroom.
Oh yeah, you were talking about your wife.
And in this case, we were discussing
22 minutes in, and we're back to your wife talking about that. So I don't know. I think. Well, you know what I said about this whole conversation. Distraction of the week.
And I said distraction of the year, maybe.
Of the year, exactly.
It very well might be.
Yeah.
But my and I get it. As my wife loves Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. And she's stuck on this issue of safety for a bathroom. Which is an interesting dichotomy, I guess, when you look at it.
I guess. Right. Because you typically, Sanders supporters are sort of
more liberal. Very liberal. And my wife is liberal, and for the most part. And
I would say so. Yeah. I think that the bathroom conversation is stupid. I think it's pointless. Yes, I think people should just fucking go wherever they feel right. And if...
It is a very dumb conversation to have. But we need to have conversations. but I do, in this particular instance, it was entertaining, if not problematic, before I came over here to have this conversation, because she was getting confused by where I was trying to take this conversation with her, as far as Facebook has 53 different genders we could be, if that's true or not.
Yeah.
And what if I self-identify this way and then I change my mind, or if I am gender fluid, or gender queer, and I just don't know what I am. Like, what do you want me to do? And then we got into the conversation about how, like, we have family bathrooms.
Right.
We have men's bathrooms and women's bathrooms. This is a binary issue. For bathrooms are concerned. They've always been a binary issue.
In the United States. If I remember right, recently, Europe and Russia does not have this problem.
No.
They just have a bathroom.
And so this is kind of where I took this, was then like, so like, what do you propose then, wife? Help me. What do you propose? Is that, do you want like single stalls? Or not even single stalls. Do you want like single rooms? One bathroom, one room, one sink, one toilet, and you just have like numerous ones of those,
right?
And that's like your restroom area.
Mm-hmm.
Or
seems like an onerous burden on
or just
on
everything,
business, doesn't it?
Unless
it's an option. I mean,
yeah. Well, then you can't have unisex bathrooms,
right, which are all over.
Well, then it's a misnomer at that point. Then, where you have to completely rename unisex because there's
multiple sexes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just a side, but
multi-sex
bathrooms. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you can fuck more than one person in there.
Yeah.
What's that saying? Yeah. Okay.
But then I mean, I guess apparently from what I've seen so far on Facebook, God knows we should not believe anything we see on Facebook, but pictures of like, yes, I'm standing in the women's bathroom at Target, and they're putting urinals in here now. So I'm like, okay, well, Kim, if like, would it be okay then if you look like a male and you go into the women's restroom, you have to use like an enclosed stall and sit down to pee? Like if you're going to identify as a female, like do you have to sit to pee? And if you identify as a male, do you have to stand to pee?
What if you
don't? Well,
if
you don't have the correct genitalia to do that,
it's very difficult unless you have one of those Go Girls or something.
Yeah, and by all means.
By the way, Go Girl, I want my fucking check.
and that's another thing that's just interesting when you think about like bathrooms is, you know, go to a stadium our university system here has literal like stalls, like horse trough that you can go pee in. Even some of the stuff that's been like renovated. Our football stadium, I remember going as a kid, and you just had this big thing in the center of the room, and everybody just peed around in it.
Yeah, big
even at our basketball arena, not our new one, our old basketball arena. At Devaney, it's been renovated, and they still have slow drip troughs that run the length of the wall, and I'm like, that's just awkward and weird.
Especially if you're a female and you have female genitalia.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know how that would work. I've never been into the quote women's restroom before.
I've been in the women's restrooms lots of times.
Well, yeah, but I haven't been like at these places.
Oh no, I haven't either.
Yeah, it's like
actually, side note.
Yeah.
For many years now, if I find a restaurant or a coffee house or something, usually it's a smaller place, it has single pot bathrooms, one for male, one for female, and it's just lock the door. I go into the female one every single time.
Oh, nice.
Just
it's probably cleaner.
My favorite quote is I found on the women's bathroom at the Mill.
Oh.
Back in like '98.
Yeah, see, this is funny. Hold on.
If the world
you've name dropped the Mill, and I was
attempting
to not name drop our university system's establishments. But I realized people already know we're in Nebraska 1866. Not that anybody knows what that means.
No, and we're not going to explain it either.
Yeah.
Go listen to Agenda 31.
That's a future topic.
I suppose we should talk about it at some point.
But it doesn't really matter. People can know where we live.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so
I'm not going to give you my address, but
why not? It's care of.
Care of. Yeah, care of. That's my address.
Yeah.
3 cent stamp.
Please.
3 cent stamp. Non-domestic.
Yeah, no, it's interesting this conversation, and again, because I don't have a solid opinion on it by any means. Like it's a newer topic for me. It's something I personally really don't give a shit about, and I don't think it matters. I say this because I think it's being used as a distraction.
Yeah.
I think this is a non-violent distraction that we've come up with.
Yeah. I suppose I'd rather have this kind of a distraction than fucking, children being killed or something.
Yeah. But I mean, so it doesn't really intrigue me other than watching people's hypocrisy play out.
That's been funny.
Yeah, so let's discuss the hypocrisy then, Sam. I know we did.
So let's sort of clarify at the ground. You believe that it's hypocritical for a musician to cancel his tour dates.
I do.
Well, I'm putting words in your mouth.
Yes.
To understand.
All right.
And then you can clarify if I
fine.
got it wrong. You believe it's hypocritical for a musician to cancel his tour dates as protest for the bathroom laws, but not cancel the tour dates in a place where they're worse, like
Saudi Arabia or Thailand or something like that.
Okay, now,
Myanmar.
but it's not hypocritical compared to. Is it hypocritical? Is
the right word. I don't even know if that's the correct word.
Here's what people are saying. People are saying.
I don't know.
It's hypocritical, but
yeah, but
I think it is.
I think there's a better word to describe this mind fuck that's going on.
Opportunistically hypocritical.
That'll do it. So
I think I think that many people have said it's hypocritical to deny the baker the right to not bake somebody a cake. When does that make sense? So
yeah.
That's what they've said, and something bugs me about that.
Continue on with this. With
okay,
with the bathroom
we'll
thing.
Pause on that.
Like with North Carolina. So what you're saying is that I believe, and I do, that it's hypocritical of certain artists or anybody to boycott North Carolina's state, going to North Carolina for whatever event that they've at some point made a commitment to. So a show, an arts gathering, concert, whatever it is. Yeah. But yet they don't take a stance against performing in countries where they actually murder
gay
homosexuals, for example, or PayPal canceling a planned call center or whatever it was that was going to be there, but still doing business in Saudi Arabia or something along that lines. I'm not sure which country it is. Numerous countries, I'm sure. I think that a much better stance would be not only do I think it's hypocritical, I also think it's very unfair to their fans who have purchased and planned, who have purchased tickets and planned to go to these events.
See, and what my point of that was, yes, it's unfair for the fans, but it's also an incentive for the fans to knuckle down and fight their government's asinine laws.
Let's say I'm a fan of your music.
That's an incentive.
I'm a fan of your music, and we live in Nebraska, and Nebraska passes some stupid law that you don't agree with, and so you boycott coming here.
Yeah.
The fans of your music more than likely support your political causes.
Tend to have similar
similar beliefs. So even the ones that are in Nebraska probably didn't agree with it, but they're the minority there.
Right.
You coming here to play a show, you're only going to get that minority people anyways, most of the time.
So why not use the show
as a benefit cause? One thing that I really, really liked about Connor Oberst of Bright Eyes, or formerly of Bright Eyes, his moniker at some point, is that he's put on a couple shows here specifically to protest whatever it is. It was the Arizona sheriff's.
So you're talking about Arpaio or whatever his name is?
Yeah, his cause. They've written songs about him.
He's
protested things there.
Didn't you
he's
say
done
he did
things
a protest
about
thing in Omaha?
At the Slowdown, they've put on, I think, free shows where everything was just donations, and I think that's a better idea than just completely boycotting it. Don't charge for anything, so then the state doesn't get.
They don't get the tax money.
Their tax monies. Maybe go do a show out. Get your license to do a show in a public space or something, at a park or whatever. And I'm sure, you have to pay for that. But if you go to a more liberal city in the state, then the city's probably already.
Charlotte, I think Charlotte's pretty liberal.
Yeah, so go to a liberal area in the state. Where they obviously probably disagree with the law as well.
Right.
And I mean, any urban area for the most part is going to be more liberal.
Yeah.
So go to those areas, and I mean, even if you have to pay a venue, okay, so you have to pay them for something, but then take donations or whatnot, or put the cost that you get, or anything that you get for putting on the show. If it's your sales of your merchandise, if it's the sales for coming, if it is strictly just a donation box, and then use that to fight whatever it is, the fight for the agenda that's there. In this case, it would be for fighting the bathroom laws.
Yeah.
That makes much more sense to me, because you're not denying people a right to see you, or the privilege of being able to see you, and you're not being hypocritical, and you also going somewhere else where their laws may very well be the same. You just don't know because you're an American citizen or a state citizen or whatever, and you're going over to a foreign land, and you don't know the intricacies of their rules and regulations,
assumedly,
or even their states, or what else is this? Not a state there, but you have other whatever the other little areas that you would have, like in a foreign country. Provinces. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Does Yugoslavia have provinces? Do they have states?
I have no idea.
Does Russia have provinces or states?
I think Russia does have provinces. I don't know. I even went to Russia, but I don't remember.
Yeah, but anyway, whatever the local regional laws would be in whatever area you are.
Well,
I'm
Russia
sure
hates
you're
gays,
not.
So don't go there.
What?
Russia hates gays, so don't go there.
Oh yeah, exactly. Russia hates gays.
Yeah, look up the white paper.
Yeah. we may link that to you. But so it is, and again, this is why I don't necessarily think it's hypocritical. I think there's a different word that I really wish I can find, like in my mind right now, as to, like, what this would be. I really want to say it's very paradoxical. Yeah. Just this mindset that we have that we should boycott this, but what's a boycott really do on such a grand scale? When it's like, I'm just gonna go to North Carolina, and you're like, yeah, but other people will. So
that actually
you don't.
That
do
actually
anything.
does beg the question. I mean, what does? I think a boycott, not a musician, but I think a boycott of somebody like PayPal, that actually does something. That hurts the economy of the state. But here's what's interesting. That fucking hurts the people in the state. All the people. The bigots and the normal, nice people. Yeah. It hurts everybody.
So you boycott going to the state, and then...
So you isolate them even further.
You isolate them further, but when you boycott going to the state, that doesn't just affect the state. You're right. Because that affects the...
I mean, that doesn't just affect the government.
The state, yeah.
Yes,
the ETNI, the administrative state. It affects the hotel workers at the hotel that all these people might be staying at, or the motels. It affects the fast food restaurants and other restaurants, and all the employees that are there. It affects local shops and businesses, the mom and pop shops that are relying upon people coming in when you have these type of events.
When you come to play an arena or something.
The NCAA, they ban postseason events if you have a Native American as your mascot, for example. It's like North Dakota State can't host events.
Wait. So they can play in NCAA.
They can play in championship matches and playoffs in season. They cannot host the championships in their university. And the NFL.
Okay, so the NCAA is using that as a stick
to prod North Dakota State. I think it's North Dakota State. One of the two.
Sorry to whoever we got wrong.
Whoever has the Fighting Sioux as their mascot. They're trying to prod them.
I'm not Sioux, so I can't. Well, I can't do that.
North Dakota State's a bad example. North Dakota, because one tribe says I don't care, another tribe says I don't like it. Florida State Seminoles.
Right.
The Seminoles don't care.
Right.
Therefore, Florida State's allowed to do whatever they want to with this mascot.
Oh, that's interesting.
So, let's go different. Let's go different. The NFL. The NFL says Georgia may lose out for the same. I mean, they
the Braves.
No.
This is the NFL.
The NFL.
Sorry, Falcons?
Thank you, Adam Curry. Not knowing your sports teams.
Yeah.
Especially since you were born in Atlanta.
Yeah, I've seen the Braves.
Atlanta Falcons.
I saw the Braves play back in the day.
Yeah, the Atlanta Falcons. So
Bernie Sanders or whatever.
I believe, I believe it was Georgia that just had tried to put forth a law or something in their legislature.
That was the one, the freedom of religion one.
Okay, so
which isn't. It's freedom to be a bigot.
Yeah. Okay. So
that was the one I was actually wanting to talk about.
Oh, okay. Well, hey.
With regards to hypocrisy, but go ahead.
Well, we'll branch into that. So the NFL is wanting to push for them to not be able to host the Super Bowl because they don't want to endorse. And this is their way.
To Falcons?
Yeah. If Atlanta were ever to be awarded the Super Bowl,
well, I don't understand why.
Because they're in Atlanta and
because
they're in Georgia, and it will affect
law.
the state of Georgia. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's happened in other places, numerous other places.
Yeah.
Like pro sports leagues have banned, even university systems have banned universities or states from hosting championship events as their form of boycotting. But like I'm saying, or I was saying, is that I believe this affects much more than just the state, because you do have all the other things you have to worry about. If it's
like you said, all of the other things,
all the other shops
that ultimately benefit every
people.
working human being,
and eventually the federal government through taxes.
But there's that.
Yeah.
They're gonna steal one or the other. So
Yeah.
So what I was thinking about with this, because the name of the bill is Free Exercise Protection Act. I just read that. I didn't memorize it.
Yeah.
Well,
what are the tenets of it?
Fuck, I don't know.
It's been a while, and this is not. This has been the news, but this hasn't been the big one.
Should
To
we actually read it?
Yeah. Can you find like a Cliff Notes version? Brought to you by Lincoln, Nebraska.
Senate Bill 129.
I mean, I know we've discussed this before, and through passing.
It's like fucking.
It's really long, but
long as shit.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit here and. I know it gives you. From what I understand, is that it says that if you're a Christian, you get to discriminate.
That's what people believe.
Yeah, and so let's go back to
exercise of religion means the practice of observance of religion under paragraphs yada yada yada.
So as you were saying beforehand, you tried to interject. And sorry for cutting you off.
No, it was good. It was good because this is about related.
Bakers.
So the idea that the classic baker refuses to bake a cake for the gay wedding.
Okay. If that's what this bill is sort of like.
That's how it's being spun.
Okay, well, I already have a problem.
I haven't actually read the bill, so
if that's how it's being spun, then my problem with it is being like quasi libertarian hardcore capitalist that I am, would be that a private business who's already paying their own taxes, who's already doing anything else, should have the right to refuse service to whoever they want to. It doesn't matter. And I say that because, again, Sam, if I have a business and I don't want black people to be served in my business, or if I don't want gay people to be served in my business, and so hypothetically you're gay, and you come into my shop and...
Like, how do you know? Do I have it like...
Well, in this case, it would be like, we want a gay cake. For a wedding for our gay or a cake for our gay wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, then I would know.
Okay. Right.
So then I would refuse my service to you.
Okay.
And then you would apparently get mad about this.
And what if you're like the best cake maker in town?
Okay.
And I really want your fucking cake.
I've worked hard for my business. I've established my business. I've done all these other things. And why... If you know I don't agree with your lifestyle...
I didn't know until you came in and just told me, like, you're being an asshole about it.
Yeah, so I don't serve faggots here.
I don't serve Negroes. Sorry, I didn't say the N-word. I'm not that cool.
And for the sake of our first podcast, I will not either.
So, we are, by the way, in case you couldn't tell, two white dudes.
Yes, although my quote uncle Tom at work, because he has no problem calling himself that, has no problem calling himself the N-word either, because he knows how to use the word.
Oh. Yeah.
He's also a black Catholic who's extremely conservative, who used to be addicted to crack.
Please tell me he's going to vote for Trump. Please, for the love of... Oh, thank God.
He's a huge Trump fan.
Oh.
I've tried... I actually asked him, can I record you, like, giving your support? And he said, yeah. I'll do it right now. And I'm like, no, I was joking.
Oh, no. You pulled out your phone like, fuck yeah, man. Here.
Yeah, I should have.
Oh,
anyway,
man.
So
Great.
if I refuse my service to you, and you now know that I refused my service to you based upon my, for the sake of argument, bigotry.
Oh, no. Let's use the language. It's a religious right.
Oh, as my religious
Your religious right.
Or whatever it is.
Conscience. Your conscience is dictated.
So we're just gonna do the homosexual route and
that's fine.
Or gender issues, whatever. So,
no, homosexual's fine. Keep it with that.
Say, I'm sorry. I'm an Orthodox Christian. I don't think it's okay
for people that aren't Orthodox,
because I think it harms society.
Because it harms society. Is that a religious belief, or is that actually
my church teaches
a
that
moral?
I'm sorry.
Belief.
The church does teach that by endorsing it, it is actually harmful for society.
So by making it cake,
that is correct, right?
Fuck, I don't know.
You're a PK. Come on, you should know this.
I actually know that. It depends on what Orthodox people you talk to, too.
Yeah, true.
Orthodoxy's like that.
I do think
yes, the bearded, the old bearded dudes.
I think that's the general consensus.
That's what they would say.
The Labrador Mafia. But I do think that's the general or the OCA. I do think that's the general consensus.
That was for the Orthodox out there. My dad's an OCA priest. Yaka.
I do believe that's the general consensus, though, is that...
Yeah, okay. All right, we've established that. We're not going to get into the semantics of
So it's...
Because you know my opinions on
and you now know this.
Yes, okay.
Go to another... We're not in 1950s. There's other cake bakers here now.
Maybe there's not. No, literally, maybe there's not in the small town they live in.
Okay, so drive the 20 miles and go get a cake somewhere else where somebody's not going to be that.
Okay, well, all right, so that's your answer. Here's my
problem.
Why
do you want me, the hypothetical anti-gay man, to bake you a cake?
By the way, people, just so you're not pissed off at Jared's actually just like devil's advocating because this is what we fucking do. We want to actually think through all of these things so we're not just parroting what we read on Facebook or what our
government is trying to shove down our throats.
Yes, or what Bernie Sanders told me to think, or what Obama told me to think, or what
Ted Cruz or Trump, or
I don't know why anybody would think what Ted Cruz and that guy fucking creeps me out. But anyways, yeah. I like Trump way better.
Think for yourselves is what this is.
So the whole idea is to think,
brain you have.
Even think like, okay, is it okay? Are we actually liberal enough to allow someone to discriminate?
Yes,
that is a good question. Because if you have institutionalized discrimination, i.e. Jim Crow, i.e. maybe that's the wrong word. An example, not i.e. An example of that would be Jim Crow.
E.g. Yeah.
Example would be Jim Crow. Then it actually requires anti-discrimination laws to push society.
Yes, and this is because it's institutionalized. No,
anti-homosexuality is fucking institutionalized.
You cannot have government-sponsored bigotry. You can have free thought bigotry.
But the discrimination, anti-discrimination laws outlawed it. You cannot refuse to rent somebody a house if they're black.
Yeah. Do we need that anymore?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying. Do we need that now?
I think we do.
Do we have enough people that can go around and sit there and say, "I don't rent to niggers"?
Yes, I actually. They don't say that because they will get sued.
Yes.
You said the N-word.
I did, and I said it here because I'm using this as an example.
Yes.
For the bigoted
person.
Here,
yes, right.
Okay, you come into my shop, and I say, "I don't serve niggers here."
Right, but what you would say.
Hold on. What's better? What's better here? I can sit here openly. Right, because there's no laws.
That's the argument with the North and the South, right? The South
I can
is more
sit here.
openly.
This is my point of view. I can sit here and say I don't serve faggots and I don't serve niggers. Okay, you now know that I'm an open bigot.
So you boycott the fuck out of that place,
yes.
right?
the free market will now say, this asshole
right
does
back
not
to the fucking free market.
This is how this
you
is my thought.
libertarian son of a bitch.
The market will sit here and say, do you agree with me, Sam? If I sat here and said I don't serve niggers and I don't serve fatties,
no, I would never eat in your restaurant.
And what would you do?
I'd fucking plaster it everywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My business is going to go under. Now,
what if the entire town in Skippy?
Let me finish my thought here, and we'll go back to Skippy.
Okay, I don't even know.
So my thought here would be...
Sorry to the people in Skippy, I don't even know if it's a real town.
So if the law stipulates, in this day and age, if the law stipulates that I cannot do that...
Yes.
But I can turn my back and say, oh, fucking nigger came in here, oh my god. You don't know I'm saying that.
Right.
You are you're giving a bigot money. You're keeping his business up. Or in this case, my business up.
That's an interesting
because
argument.
you don't know that I'm a bigot. Because I'm not allowed to tell you I'm not serving you because of this and this. So you don't get the right to exercise your freedom of speech and your freedom of whatever.
Yes, you do.
No, because you don't know. You have no idea.
No,
I'm not allowed to tell you this because government says this. So this is my point is that
I think
the market's no longer going to be driven on the fact that you now know that I suck.
Right.
I can't. I can sit here in the middle.
Yeah, I suppose
but
so.
that's it.
The big Confederate flag behind you probably would.
Well, I can't fly that.
War flag, by the way.
Battle flag, yeah. But I can't fly that anymore though. Oh, and it's only on government. Sorry, government property, i.e., the state.
The administrative state. Smoke break.
That was 3 games in a row.
All right, we're back from smoke breaks.
Yeah, so to rehash, basically, then, I believe that you should be able to do whatever you want to do, because you don't want to support me if I'm a bigoted asshole, and I mean that's basically it. Like, why would you want to patronize my business if I'm allowed to be an open bigot?
Right. I think that's a valid point. I am torn between, and this would be my summation of the problem with this conversation. Not the problem, the conflict at the heart of this whole conversation. The conflict is how do we as a people, with laws, with government of the people, by the people,
with laws of government,
right. So how do we as a people that make up a government, that have legislative bodies, how do we balance personal liberty, freedoms, with ethics and morality?
Oh, okay. So
I'm much less interested, because a lot of people, especially, we have to balance personal freedoms with security. No, you don't. Yeah. Fucking no, you don't. Bye, NSA. That's not what I think the real problem is how do we balance morality and ethics, especially when our morality and our ethics changes. It moves.
Yeah. It's organic.
Yeah, sure. Organic?
Yeah, it's organic.
Like, doesn't have fertilizer on it and shit? Or?
Well, NPK?
Or is it NPK? Nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So, do you know what I'm saying? I think that is a conflict that would be...
This is
you
how
end up in a nanny state. You end up in fucking iRobot territory.
This is how I would say this,
if you balance... So
my rights, my liberties, my right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are dependent upon me not infringing upon somebody else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. I would say that's kind of the golden rule, right?
Yeah,
that's
the golden rule. And I would say
basic ethics.
The other, ethics being Yet, all men are created in the image of God. Even if you're not religious, as a religious person, I'm going to sit here and say that
right.
all men are
created
say that,
in
the image of God, and therefore all men are endowed with the same rights and privileges.
Right.
And it's if I want to be a bigot against that, it's your choice to protest that. And if that protest is you deciding to not come to a state and to not endorse that state for them passing a law or something, by all means, that's your right to do such.
So basically,
the Confederacy
should have
wrong.
The Confederacy should have just been left alone to be their own state, and then the North should have. See what I'm saying, though? I mean, I think that really...
No, because we do have a constitution, and that was not allowed until Texas v. White, where it tells you how to leave the Union.
Right.
But, no, what I'm saying is that it's well within your right to protest something that you do not like. It's well within your right to boycott something you do not like. I'm strictly calling out the hypocrisy of it. Regardless of whether or not you believe in it, that's not the point. The point is that you need to realize that your boycott affects much more than you boycotting the state for a law.
Yeah.
It affects the people. It affects the citizens, the people. It affects the government. Yes, it affects the businesses. It affects your fans. And it's very opportunistic for you to do that, while at the same time also still playing in other countries that have it far, far worse. We're the minority population.
Yeah.
Far worse.
I'm not disagreeing with that point at all. I'm uncomfortable with the idea that personal liberty would stand in the way of social progress. Now that sounds really, really awful, doesn't it? That sounds
the
like
personal liberty
1984 shit right there. But no, because personal liberty.
So long as you're not doing something that harms somebody else.
Yeah, but that's my point. If we followed this idea of personal liberty over ethics and morality, then black people would still be sitting in the back of the fucking bus. Because they were the minority. Right now, in our society, it's the LGBTQ, AAIP, fucking shit, I can't do the rest of the alphabet. Yeah.
AAIAAPQ. LGBTQIAPP. LGBTQ.
We might need to edit that out.
AP.
There it is. Okay. So, right now, they are the disenfranchised section of humanity. Yeah. And unless those in power... unless those in power actually make it...
the basic concept of survival of the fittest is always going to tell you that somebody's going to be on the bottom. Somebody's always going to be in the bottom.
But I think that's a cop-out. Like, just calling that up and saying, well, somebody's going to always be on the bottom. Might as well be the gays.
I'm not saying it might as well. I'm just saying,
you know what
solve one issue.
Yeah.
What's next?
The next issue.
And then what's next?
I don't know. Let's deal with that then.
And then what's next?
Again, I'm gonna go with I don't know.
At some point, you're just going to have robots who just do whatever the government wants them to do.
I don't think so.
You don't?
No.
Government says you have to do this.
I'm actually. The reason why I'm not overtly racist. Now I understand that I have innate racism and all that stuff, and I can't do anything about that at the moment. I'm just do my best. But aside from that, I don't discriminate against black people, right? I don't look at that black guy and think blah 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 blah. Okay, I do that because I was raised in a culture that was much more tolerant than my dad's family, who are racist. They just are. You know,
we can't blame them for that. We need to keep that
no,
in mind.
No.
We cannot blame a people for what
it's also a lot easier for me
did.
It's also
that was just how society was.
Yeah,
we need to learn to get past that. So calling those people out
for us to say
racist
that
fuckers and racist bigots or homosexual bigots,
that
was society. You
right.
fell
but what
in
I'm saying
line
is,
with society.
Don't laws actually mirror the social attitudes? They do.
Yeah.
Right?
I was strictly just saying we need to be careful not to call people out. You can't call out like Thomas Jefferson. I'm just throwing a name. I don't care. Joe Schmo from 200 years ago,
right.
for being a slave owner or something. Society was a slave.
You can say that was wrong.
Yes.
You can say that he was racist. Of course he was.
That was just your society at that time.
Oh,
and that was what it was. It's a horrible thing.
I see what you're saying.
We can call it the society. We can call it that period of time. You can't hold necessarily that a particular individual against that. So if I want to sit there and say, "Oh, my great grandfather was a slave owner, therefore he's a fucker,"
I don't.
That's no. Everybody's great grandfathers were fuckers.
It's a good point. Yeah, that wasn't where I was going.
No,
with that.
but I just want to be careful.
That's an interesting point. What I was just saying was that I think society has moved in part because of the cultural direction.
Yeah.
But also in tandem with that was the legal system that changed.
Yeah.
That allowed black kids to go to school in white schools.
Government endorses bigotry, that's bad.
What if government allows bigotry?
See, I don't think government should allow bigotry in the sense that bigotry is allowed if it actually keeps you down, if it keeps a minority down. So if government's endorsing a bigotry or a bigoted mindset, whatever it is, that's bad. But if the populace is allowed, like if I'm allowed to be a bigot, I think that's okay. And I say this because,
but then it gets
the right
back to my
free
point.
speech, the right to
yes.
You want me to be tolerant of everybody else, but it also means that whether you like it or not, you have to be tolerant of me.
Okay, yeah, that's an interesting point. So we demand tolerance except for the intolerant.
Yeah. I mean, I think I say that quite a bit. Yeah, I.
But that is what bugs me, because
that's a cop out too.
By this,
it's a cop out meme.
Oh,
the
tolerant everybody except the intolerant.
Intolerant,
right?
Unless you're intolerant.
Right. Okay, whatever. Clever. Ding, ding, ding. We're not actually dinging the bell on that one. So
although I do say it all the time.
You dirty libertarian. If that were the case, then I reiterate.
Small L libertarian.
Then I reiterate. Most of the South would still be extremely segregated.
Right, again,
black people would be poor as fuck.
Jim Crow laws,
they don't
bad, because that was like government institutionalized racism. The government solved that problem by making Jim Crow laws illegal.
Right.
The government sitting here and saying in Georgia's case, might be bad. Here's another interesting thing about Georgia. Okay, so what this law means, I really want to make this clear for everybody out there who agrees with the Georgia law that allows you to be bigoted based upon your religious belief, especially if you're a Christian, especially if you're evangelical Christian. Or, for that matter, if you're just white. How I see this law, and this is probably nothing more than no agenda thought here, would be that you need to keep in mind the fact that it would also mean that you may have to tolerate Sharia law. So let's look at that. So, because God knows we have a fear of Muslims in this country. Then that
begs the question, Jared. If one is a very traditional, I don't actually know what I mean. Is it traditional?
I don't endorse this law. I want you to know I do not endorse these laws.
No, I don't think you. I know that. I know that.
Well, our listeners don't know that.
Oh,
so I'm sitting here saying.
Yeah,
I am literally
fighting for the other
trying to work this out.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And just as a general citizen.
So that does. I think we should end it there. That is an interesting point. Is if you make a freedom of religion law that allows you to discriminate with impunity,
based off the idea that we are a Judeo-Christian country, which we are not.
Let me
reiterate that. Freedom. We are not a Judeo-Christian nation, nor have we ever been.
We're a product of the Enlightenment.
Yes. Hello, Martin Luther.
So
King Jr. Sorry.
Reverend or doctor? Depends on if you're an atheist or you're a Christian. So if we make these laws blindly assuming that everybody's Christian and everybody's white and everybody's, we're going to get a big fucking shock when the Church of Satan says, hey guys, or when anybody.
Well, that's happened here in Nebraska. We got pissy when, because every year there's a Christian society. I don't know what group it is. That always goes around and puts up like a Christmas display, I guess would be the best word to say.
Oh, at the Capitol?
Yeah, at the Capitol. and they didn't get their petition in soon enough to do this.
Because
my request, rather.
Lincoln atheists were really snarky and put in for it first.
Not only did they put in for it first, they also put in for like the entire space.
Yeah, because that's what you can do.
Yeah. So that was kind of a fuck you, but do I agree with it? Well, I agree that they did what they
had the right to do.
But do I agree with the method in which they took? No, but I also don't think that a Christian society, or a Christian group rather, should take up the entire thing. Granted, they've always only done like for like 1 week.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care.
And the atheists made sure specifically to do it for like this entire window of period of time that would make sense. So you're like, that could be interpreted as an asshole move.
Totally. I love it.
Yeah. But again, when you have
it was to make a point.
It was to make a point, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And do I care? I really don't give a shit about it, but
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, was it really funny? Were you laughing?
Yes, I was laughing.
You were laughing.
Like literally funny.
I did find it humorous.
Oh, humorous.
Yeah. With a U.
All right.
I think that we would like to go ahead and thank Adam Curry and John C., where the C stands for Conversation, Dvorak at noagenda.com.
Yeah, No Agenda is media assassination, and they have reoriented our thinking about things. Although I would say that Jared and I were already along those lines before we checked out No Agenda. But if you enjoyed our conversation, if you enjoyed the way we were trying to look at things, you will like No Agenda, and they're funny as all get out.
And we'd like to thank Jennifer Briney at congressionaldish.com.
Jennifer is a fantastic resource for research and understanding of what our government is actually doing. I'm not talking about conspiracy theories. I'm not talking about moon bases. I'm actually fucking literally talking about she reads the bills. She reads the bills and looks at who does campaign contributions. She looks at who lobbies. She's phenomenal. She's an incredible resource.
And Corey Ibe and Todd McGreevy at agenda31.org.
Agenda 31, not Agenda 21. You gotta listen to at least listen to their opening intro. It's 4 minutes
and 20 seconds long.
Yeah. That was not a bong. That was just me making fucking noises. Agenda 31. I'd smoke a spliff if I had one. Agenda 31. Agenda 31 seeks to expose government corruption, and their main focus is a concept called state citizenship, not to be confused with statism or sovereign citizen crap or any of this. It's very, very different. Do you have anything else to add about
Agenda 31?
Agenda 31.
Yeah, I would say that basically it's about following your state constitution. Read your state constitution. Yeah. What state are you from? Read the constitution. How many constitutions has your state had? Nebraska, we've had 3. Really only 2, but we like to say 3. That's where we get Nebraska 1866 from, is that we were admitted as a state.
Exactly.
Under the 1866 Constitution of Nebraska, and on March 1st, 1867, we were admitted as a state to the several states.
He's not reading that, by the way. This guy actually knows those dates.
but really, it's, the United States was the several states before we were the United States.
And if you want more, go listen to Agenda 31.
Go listen.
Yeah, don't listen to Jared.
My favorite podcast is Agenda 31.
All right, folks. Signing off. This is Samuel Little Dank. Sammy often.
Dante. And Jared Hall. Saying Salancha.
L'chaim. Farewell from Nebraska, 1866.